It's a beautiful morning today, and I am out in the garden, and I wanted to do a little walkabout and show you what was happening in my garden today. It's May the 18th today, and it's just the morning is just beginning. The birds are chirping, and it's about 7 a.m. The garden is waking up from the night cold, and we've had a really cold night, and I just love these early mornings where you can just escape in the garden with a cup of coffee and walk around and see what's happening in the garden. And I wanted to take you along with me today. For those of you who are joining me for the first time, welcome to my channel. And for all of my returning subscribers, thank you so much for joining me and subscribing to my channel and watching my videos. I really appreciate it. My name is Preeti, and I garden in Zone 6 in Toronto, and I love to show you my garden and what's happening in my garden. So let's walk around today and see what's happening in my front garden, and I'll also walk around in the backyard and just highlight some plants that are blooming and looking really good at this point. So this is here Queen of Hearts Brunnera, and it has been blooming like this for quite some time, and I can just see that it's just getting bigger and bigger and looking awesome in the garden. I have two flanking this walkway, and they are just stunning. And I also wanted to show you this Lepidora. It has just started to bloom here, and I love how beautiful these blue blooms look against the path, and they just look gorgeous. So they are just starting to bloom, and there's lots and lots of buds to come. The one on this side hasn't bloomed yet because there was some of it was dying, so I can see that it's now starting to rejuvenate and come back, and I can see lots and lots of buds on this side as well. So hopefully both the sides will bloom and balance each other. The GM has just started to bloom, and it is looking gorgeous. I love these orange blooms, and they just look beautiful here. So lots and lots of growth on the roses. I think they're going to start to bud up soon. Tulips are just about done and going over. So it's so nice to come out and see something new bloom every single day. So here are some anemones that are blooming, and aren't these gorgeous? They are blooming, and they are looking really pretty. They were actually open yesterday, and today they are closed, so can't really show you what they're looking like. But lots and lots of foliage on the roses, no blooms yet, and I'm just rooting for which rose is gonna bloom first for me, and I'm excited to see that. Here is a parrot tulip that's blooming. I love this deep dark intense color of this tulip, and I have few more that are blooming on this end as well, and they are so gorgeous. I love the deep dark color. It's just beautiful. So let's walk around and see what else is happening. So this plant here in the back is Louisia. So it has just started to bloom, and it is stunning with its mixed colors. Like there's yellows, there's coral, there is pink, and it's just a beautiful flower. It's a succulent, and it blooms these gorgeous tropical colors, which I absolutely love. What else is blooming? So catmint, this is Cat's Pajamas Nepeta. It has just started to bloom as well. So lots of purple springing in the garden, which looks fabulous. So here is a little section in my front garden. I have dianthus that is starting to bloom here. Isn't this such a pretty color? I have some salvia that is starting to bloom, and again the catmint is starting to bloom here as well, and creeping phlox is also starting to bloom. I recently divided and spread this out here So I wasn't sure how this was going to do in terms of blooming, but it is starting to bloom, which is awesome to see. And I still have some tulips that are blooming here. Actually, these ones were open yesterday and they were so pretty. These are the species tulips that I planted here, and right now they are closed, but if I come back later today and I see them open, I will add a picture of them to this video. Just beautiful. Like, these tulips are just going over now, and still a few daffodils that are blooming. I'm just waiting for all of this to go over, and then I'm gonna come out here and trim back the bloom stalks and let the leaves just remain, and plant some annual seeds here. And I'm just going to let the foliage die back on its own. So that's looking really, really, really nice. Sorry, my car is parked really at this edge and I can't really go closer to these yellow blooms, but these are a type of an alyssum that's blooming. It's a yellow alyssum and it's just gorgeous. I love how this is looking, and I'll just walk back a little bit so you can see what the garden is looking like. It is just beautiful this morning. So let's walk over now to the other side and see what's happening here. So on this side, again, lots of plants are getting ready to bloom. I think roses are putting on a lot of growth. I have Euphorbia bonfire that just started to bloom as well. Isn't this gorgeous with its yellow blooms? So bonfire euphorbia has this really nice dark burgundy foliage. So once this is done blooming, it's going to just have this beautiful foliage for the rest of the year. So the flowers are really, really pretty and eye-catching, and they're so bright and vibrant in the garden. Lots and lots of tulips that are still here, but they are going over. As you can see, they are fading, but it's okay. There's more things to come. Look at all these buds on this iris. So I'm excited to see when these start blooming. I do have a lilac here that is also starting to open now. So this is going to smell wonderful once it's open, and it's beautiful, and can't wait for this one. And then here are some more tulips that are blooming. Aren't these gorgeous? I love the texture on this one. It's so beautiful. Few more, and here are alliums that are starting to now open, and they look so beautiful. My Japanese maple has unfurled its leaves as well, and it's looking really, really beautiful. I love the purple and the pinks. It's just gorgeous together. Daffodils have gone over. Lots of other plants are filling in, and I can't wait for this area to fill in and do its magic with blooms. So this is what the front garden is looking like today. Let me just walk over to the driveway garden and show you what's happening on that side, and take you along. Here is pasque flower. This is still putting on some more blooms, and I haven't deadheaded it, but if I deadhead, it might put on some more blooms before it fades. So let's walk over to the driveway garden and I'll show you what's happening there. It's the driveway garden, and it has some daffodils that are still in bloom. Aren't they beautiful? I love these double daffodils. And I have lots of creeping phlox that's blooming here. Just gorgeous. And I recently planted these alpine asters. These are called Dark Beauty. So I had a daisy here which wasn't doing so well. It's been like fading over time. It's very old daisy, so I kind of removed it, and I added these alpine asters here. I love the color on this, and I think it just adds a pop of color in this garden, and it looks really nice against the creeping phlox. And I have lots of pink in this garden. I have a lot of coneflowers. I have lots of pink yarrow. So when all that starts to bloom, and also this rugosa rose is pink, it's going to be a nice complement to the pink with this purple. So excited that I added this here. Lots and lots of leaves are starting to develop on the hydrangea here. And also the Rose of Sharon is getting a lot of its leaves as well. So It's looking really, really nice. And let's now go over to the side yard garden and I'll show you what's happening there. Let's walk over to the backyard through the side yard garden and see what's happening in the side yard garden. So side yard garden is really brimming in color right now. Like there's lots of things getting ready to kind of bloom, and it's going to look so good once things start to bloom. And I wanted to show you lots and lots of buds on this African daisy. I can't wait for this to bloom. I planted it last year and I'm waiting to see how this one is going to do. I'm excited. Lots of Jacob's ladder in the back there getting ready to bloom as well. The tulips here are going over, and the candy tuft is still blooming and looking really, really pretty all around this garden here. And I just love how this looks. It's just gorgeous. Let me walk over and show you the azalea, how that's looking. So much more color everywhere. Lots more tulips here that are still blooming, and still some more buds to come. So I love this medley of tulips. I think this was just a pack of bulbs that I just mixed up, and they look nice together. Lots of cadmint is kind of filling in, and I think once these purple blooms come on, it's going to look really, really pretty. The next shrub that's going to bloom is this Weigela. So it's getting ready with lots and lots of buds. And I have a red rhododendron that's blooming here. Isn't that such a gorgeous color? I love this red one here. I think this is called Girard's red hot rhododendron or azalea, and it's really, really pretty and beautiful, vibrant color. Lots of red tulips blooming here as well, and they're looking really, really gorgeous. And alliums are coming up next, and they are going to be looking really, really good. I can see lots of buds here that are starting to open. Really pretty, really calm and serene in the garden this morning. Lots of color still on the candy corn spirea, and it's looking really, really good. I'll give you a view of the side yard garden from here. Still looks quite green, but in just a couple more weeks it's going to be full of color and it's going to look gorgeous. So here is some new leaves on the Pieris that are adding a lot of color. I love how the new foliage is this bright red, and it looks really pretty in the garden. Let's walk around in the shade garden and see what's happening. Nothing in terms of color here. The daffodils are fading, but there's lots of green coming on from all the hostas opening. The geraniums are going to start to bloom soon, so I see lots and lots of buds on them. And these are the big root geraniums, so they are going to bloom next. And some Brunnera is still blooming here, so it's looking really calm and serene in here, and it's really, really filling in with all the green leaves from the hostas. Oh, I do have some blooms here to share with you. I have this catchfly plant which is blooming here. So this has these beautiful dainty pink blooms that look really, really pretty, and it has lots of flower stalks, so this is going to be a sea of pink soon, and I love how that looks. I do have columbine that's blooming already as well, which is really, really pretty. Look at this. This is the red and white columbine. It's gorgeous. And yeah, like everything is looking really, really pretty in the garden here, very green. There are some tulips here as well that are just going over. I love when they open like this and they splat out and they look so pretty. Almost looks like a different flower altogether. I love this one so much. So they are slowly starting to go over. I love the colors on this one. Look at the colors on this. These are parrot tulips, and they have this gorgeous mix of colors, almost like an artist just blended these colors together. It's just so beautiful. I have the Spice Baby Viburnum. The blooms are just going over now, so these were blooming for quite I think at least 3 weeks now, and they're now going over. Here is an allium that's starting to bloom. Isn't that beautiful? I love these. So gorgeous. That is lemon lace elderberry. It was blooming earlier and now it's just putting on a lot of new growth. And I think that color with the purple looks so pretty in the garden. So this garden faces the sun a lot. So I find that a lot of my blooms will face on the back side just to face the sun. And it's really cute to see that when that happens. Here is the other garden. This is very close to my back fence. Lots of green here. Geranium here is getting ready to bloom. I think I may have a little bloom on it already. So it's just so pretty to see everything starting to bloom. I have bachelor's buttons that are going to bloom next, and we'll see when that happens. Here is lots and lots of blooms on my blueberries. So nice to see them. I planted like few blueberry plants in these raised beds, and they are just beautiful. So yeah, I wanted to show you, this is where I planted my Sweet Autumn Love clematis, one on either side of this arbor here. So I'm excited. It's actually doing really well. It's growing quite nicely in this spot. I think it likes it. And here is ajuga that is blooming. So this is the variegated ajuga which is blooming, and it's looking really, really pretty. And let's see what's happening in here. So here are more tulips that are blooming. I love the color on this one. I think it's just so stunning. Parrot tulips are so mesmerizing. Here is geum that is also starting to bloom. And here are those dark tulips that are looking stunning. I love the contrast they add and the pop of color they add with all the other colors right now with the daffodils. There are still some daffodils blooming, but they are going over, quickly being replaced by the alliums, which is so nice. Lots of foliage on the roses, more alliums blooming, just gorgeous. Excuse this mess here. I was removing a lot of my garden furniture to kind of set things up just yesterday, so I'm in the middle of that, but I wanted to come out here and show you what was happening in the garden. Lots more daffodils are still blooming. I love these daffodils that, you know, have multiple blooms per stem. They just look so pretty in the garden, and I love these light tulips as well. They are so gorgeous. Let's see what's happening here. So this is where I planted the black stockings meadow rue, and it is liking this spot, I think, and it's blooming. So it's looking really, really pretty. I love the blooms on it. They are so dainty and so pretty. These tulips are going over, the daffodils here are going over, but they were super stunning. And I just love this combination. It just makes you happy looking at it. It feels like sunshine and summer, and it's just so beautiful. What else is happening here? So this is where I planted my cordalis, the blue cordalis, and it is, I think, liking this spot. We'll see how it does. If it's not happy, I will move it, but I think it's liking that spot, so we'll keep an eye on that. What else is happening? And here's Ollie. He's enjoying this morning outside with me. Yeah? Hi, baby. Hi, sweetheart. Yeah, he just woke up and he's like, what is mommy doing first thing in the morning? Anyways, here are the tulips that are still blooming. I love these colors. They are so gorgeous. They're still closed. They haven't opened yet because it's early, and it's just super gorgeous in here. And I love this color with this Japanese maple, the yucca, as well as these really nice magenta pink tulips, and they have this really nice dark veining on the petals, and it looks really, really pretty. And this is the Lilac Wonder species tulip. It hasn't opened yet, but it opens up during the day, and it's absolutely beautiful. It almost looks like, you know, those those water lilies that you find in the ponds, and it's so beautiful. More alliums are coming into life, and Here is a Weigela, my Monet. This is about to open up as well. So that's going to look stunning. This is a sand cherry. It's blooming in my front yard. This is a newer one that I planted a couple of years ago, so it doesn't have too many blooms, but I'll show you the one in my front yard. It has really gorgeous blooms. So here there is lilac that's blooming. It's not very prolific, but it has some blooms, so I'm excited. This lilac hasn't bloomed in a few years, so it's nice to see some blooms on it. And everything else is just greening up in this garden bed here. It's just super, super beautiful and gorgeous. More dianthus that is starting to bloom here. It's gorgeous. I can't wait for this to be covered in these pink blooms. Tulips and daffodils as well here, and they are so dainty and pretty. I love them. Lots more plants here that are slowly growing and showing more of their color, and I love it. More iris that will be blooming soon. I love to see the stalks and the color that they bring. They are so gorgeous. More blooms to come. Just a really, really beautiful morning with all of these blooms. I just love walking around in the morning looking at. I actually put out a lot of my garden ornaments, so it looks a little bit different in this tour because I've been setting it up. So this weekend I will be cleaning it up more and setting up things and just getting the garden in order to enjoy it for the summer. So that's the plan for this weekend for me. It's a long weekend here, Victoria Day weekend, so it's going to be a nice weekend with good weather, and I just want to enjoy it. So this is what the garden looks like this morning. Let me walk over to the sand cherry in the front yard, and we'll end the video, this tour, with that shrub that I want to show you. I think it's still in bloom, and I wanted to capture that and show it to you today. So let's walk over and I'll show that to you, and we'll take a look. So there it is. It's towering over. Let me zoom in, and just beautiful. I love this shrub when it's in bloom. It's actually very gorgeous and it's beautiful. And for the rest of the season, it has this beautiful deep wine foliage which really complements a lot of the other plants. So that's everything from me today. I wanted to thank you all for coming along with me this morning and walking in my garden, catching the blooms, catching what was happening in my garden today. And I hope you enjoyed this tour of my garden, and I will catch you in my next video. Please do give this video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed watching it and want to see more garden tours from me. I would love to share more of my garden with you as it wakes up. There's lots more exciting blooms to come, and I want to share them all with you. So thank you again for watching, and I'll catch you in my next video.